Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Sunday. It is Jim here, and as usual, it is another Would I Rebuy This Guitar. Today, I'm feeling really beachy, I'm feeling really surfy. I was working on the other Jag a little bit, and it made me think of a Jag that I once had. So, without further ado, that guitar is a made in Mexico Classic Lacquer Fender Jaguar. Now, thanks to our tech overlords, I can tell you the exact day I purchased and received this guitar. It was November 23rd, 2014. I purchased it from AMS Musical on a 3-payment plan in Fiesta Red. I wanted something that was a little bit different than my Jazzmaster, which I had really taken a liking to, but it wasn't so expensive, and I wanted to be able to take it out for gigs, not worry about dinging it up. Now, this may seem weird because that 65 Jazzmaster also came with the vintage style bridge on it, and it didn't bother me nearly as much as it did on the Fender made in Mexico variant. I did not get along with it at all out of the box, quite frankly. I thought it was gorgeous. I love Fiesta Red. Maybe one day I'll pick up another Fiesta Red Fender, but that's neither here nor there. But when I started to play the guitar, it wouldn't stay in tune. It was popping out. And I would come to learn that it had so much to do with the setup, and that Jaguars, especially if you're going to be using a vintage style bridge on it, they work perfectly fine. You just have to raise the bridge enough itself because you have to create the break angle, because without the break angle it's gonna pop out of the saddles more often. I didn't know that at the time, so I was kind of panicking, and rather than actually call somebody that knew more about these offset guitars and design flaws, as many players will call them, I opted for a mastery bridge immediately to match the one on the Jazzmaster. So within 3 days of having it, I was on the internet making another order from the lovely people at Mastery. I got myself a bridge, and I said, you know what, that's going to be pretty much all it needs, because I liked the pickups in that guitar stock. I liked the tuners. They felt really tight. They had a good ratio to them on it. The nut was pretty good. It came with a hard shell case. I thought that, this would be pretty much the only thing the guitar needed. But when the bridge showed up, there was another problem. Something else I could have learned if I had done my due diligence, done a little bit of research, or maybe, asked a question. Guys, don't be afraid to ask questions. Save yourself a headache. The thimbles that came stock in that Jazzmaster were entirely too small radius-wise to seat the Mastery bridge. So here I am, all excited to plug in and try this new bridge out. Got it on the bench, ready to restring, and the Mastery bridge didn't fit. Luckily for me, I emailed them, and they were like, you ordered the wrong kit, what are you doing? They didn't say that, but in my head, that's probably how they reacted to it. So they ended up sending me new bridge thimbles, waited a few more days, they showed up, install, easy as can be. Now, this guitar was used to gig with my buddy Dave. I never wrote anything on this guitar. I find that strange, but I bought it with the intention of using it to go out and play, and that's basically all I used it for. I'd used it maybe on 1 or 2 little shoots, and the cool thing about California, and I will miss this, old California that is, you used to be able to, if you lived in the right neighborhood, we were in North Park in San Diego, you could pick up your guitar in the case and walk anywhere and be able to play a gig. So I'd find myself just kind of like stopping and sitting places and playing it. Everyone was super mellow and super cool. That neighborhood's changed a lot, man. A lot. But without that kind of, nostalgia thing here, I loved taking that guitar out. I loved playing it live. I never had any kind of problems. Never had any kind of issues with it. Again, just for whatever reason, I don't know why. This was a good guitar. This was one of the 3 or 4 best Mexican guitars I ever had from Fender. I didn't bond with it. I don't know. I kind of always looked at it as a tool. And maybe it's because I bought it specifically with that intention, as opposed to other guitars. Sometimes you see something you like, or you see a finish and you kind of buy it for other reasons. But this one I bought specifically to go out and gig with, and that's pretty much all it stayed with. So why did I sell this guitar then? I sold this guitar because I was raising money to move out. Me and Dave were sharing a place together. I was in the back house that was maybe 250 square feet. He had the front house, and my rabbit, Cheech, was actually in that front house in the room that I was supposed to be staying in. But there was kind of like a little bit of turmoil with the band and stuff like that, and I thought a clean break would probably be best and, salvage the relationship as a friend. And, it did do that. But I needed money because in San Diego, now more than ever, you need to put down so much money to get approved for a house. So I ended up selling it. I sold it way too cheap too. This is the part that annoys me. I was in such a rush to get out of there. I sold this guitar with the hard shell case with a mastery bridge for $600. That's unheard of in this market, as I'm sure you know. If I put that on Reverb right now, that would be sold within 15 to 20 minutes. No exaggeration. But would I rebuy this guitar? No, I would not. And the main reason for that is because of this market. I have seen this guitar sell on Reverb recently, anywhere from $1,100 all the way to $1,450 one sold that had a mastery bridge on it. And to me, that's too much money for that specific guitar. If I could buy it for what I sold it for, yeah, absolutely. And I'd probably use it for the exact same thing, just as a guitar that was reliable, that looked good, that sounded good, that I can go out and gig with and not worry about. But, you know, you're talking double the price. No, I don't think it was that good of a guitar. But that's going to wrap up episode, 14, 15? I lose track of this, man. I had no idea how many guitars I have. If you guys could see the list of guitars and how many are left, Jesus God, we got a long way to go, guys. We got a long way to go. But if you like what I am doing, please leave me a like. I really do appreciate it. I'm in a much better mood today. Comment, let me know about these kinds of guitars. Let me know what your favorite offset guitar of all time is. Doesn't need to be a Fender. I'm just curious about these things. Subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for a new week of new videos, including one about mastery bridges and Jaguars. That's it. Take care, you guys.